it off with that try. And I was not watching the game, not listening to the game on the radio live at the time, but then when it was back end of the game and I was free from whatever I'd been doing, I think we were emptying the shed or something like that. I was I listened to the right at the very end, and I pretty much caught just the last set being played out and then the post match. But they were talking on the post match on Radio Humberside about there isn't any kicker that they would want stood over that ball in Super League more than Ryan Shaw right now, and I have to agree.
Yeah,
I have to agree. He's not the best winger in the league. He's an okay winger. He can finish in some tight spots sometimes, but he can also make a lot of poor reads defensively. You know, there's issues there. But when it comes to his goal kicking, he's worth his space in spot in the team on that alone. You would have to think. Because he's kicking at 85% plus for 2 seasons now. I just think it's very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I don't think he's really changed much since he was at the Bulls, really. You know, he was that brilliant goal kicker, a little bit inconsistent when he was with us. So it's a slight shame that he hasn't, you know, the quality of his wing play hasn't stepped up. But yeah, I totally agree about his ability to convert a kick was right up there without question.
I enjoyed Tom referenced it there, but I enjoyed it on the highlights. Joel Tompkins getting one back to Blake Austin for putting him in hospital earlier this year.
And you know what? It for me, it didn't look overly late, and it felt
just a bit late.
Maybe a little bit. It
wasn't high.
No, it wasn't.
It was hard though.
It was a rattler, wasn't it? It really took the wind out of him, to say the least.
It didn't matter how quick Blake Austin had got rid of that ball. He was lined up. It was hitting him. It was obviously a slowish passage of play where he'd kind of found himself having to make a decision rather than being part of a play. So Tompkins took his opportunity. He absolutely pelted at him.
Yeah.
And totally laid him out. And do you know what? Credit to him. It wasn't foul play. I think it was giving us a penalty because it was marginally late, but it wasn't really foul play. Not like what Austin did to him earlier on this season. And it's a way of saying, you want to do that again? Innit? Without actually being a dickhead about it either. I think credit to Joel Tompkins for that hit. And maybe it did knock him, I'm not sure. Blake Austin still he was involved in some of the passages of play that helped set up some positions for maybe the Charlie try and stuff like that later on in the game. So he can't have been rattled completely, but it may have thrown him off his mark a little bit. Anyway, I'm a fan of that tackle.
Yeah, I had no issue with it, but yeah.
It might be my highlight moment, actually, but the star man seems to be Quinlan, and Garbutt off the bench, very important.
Yeah. I'll go. My highlight's got to be Shaw's conversion. I think that's kind of you can't argue with the late touchline conversion as your moment of the game.
Right, let's move on to the other game, Saturday's other big shock result.
Yep, it was. So this down in the south of France, it was Catalan 12, London 30. It was 8-12 to London at half time. 8,137 people were there, and Liam Moore was the referee. So in terms of stats, London made more metres, but only just, had an extra clean break, although they had a worse average gain, a much worse team tackle success, and gave up 2 more penalties. So you wouldn't expect the big winning margin if it wasn't for 9 more errors made by the Catalan. For London, Rhys Williams, 2 tries, 8 tackle busts, 176 metres and 2 clean breaks. Eddie Batty, the sandwich smasher, 174 metres. Luke Yates with 49 tackles. And old Paula Abdul everywhere again. 1 try, 2 try assists, 6 tackle busts and 2 clean breaks. For the losing Catalan, Fouad Yaha with his seemingly customary hat-trick. 3 tries, 123 metres. Samasoni Langi, 2 try assists, 6 tackle busts, 144 metres. Arthur Romano, 156 metres and 2 clean breaks. And Alrix da Costa, 64 tackles, in 74 minutes, and 19 of those were marker tackles. Quite extraordinary.
I think that's impressive. Fuad Yaha finishes like no one else, does he? And I don't necessarily always mean that in a positive way, but it works for him at the moment. He grabbed 3 tries. Malcolm Matias said, Super Coach Steve speaks French half-time team talk, Karma. Can't wait to get home and get it sorted, he said. So sorted. Bolt gun loaded. Get that gammon on the hook. Gigo was great again, though. I think Gigo was very Gigo in this game.
Yes.
He had a moment or two of brilliance, but a few mistakes and blow-ups too, I thought.
He was very, as you said, he was very Tony. Carsten says Sam Tompkins with a shit day on the field, and London show they're full in the competition. The first half wasn't always enjoyable to watch, but the second half was good.
Alan Walker said, another masterclass from Smith and Tompkins, full of direction and skill. Hopefully they never play for us again. Surely the coach will pick him, so he needs to go too. We go best when injuries stop him from picking the team. With our squad, we should be up with Staines and Wire, not struggling for the playoffs.
Mark Butler says, never mind the action. Catalan calamitous. I wish I hadn't suggested via this medium that McNamara was rebuilding his reputation. Famous last words. The table is ridiculous because of results like this. Yaha's hat-trick for no reason just sums it up. It'll be an awful shame when points difference relegates this London team and Danny Ward leaves. You know it's happening.
No, I think Leeds are going to go down by 5 points and Wigan are going to make the playoffs by 5 points in expensive Castleford, and I think that'll be the perfect storm. So then Fatboy Rob won't know whether to be happy about that Tony Club try being awarded or upset about it when it comes to the whole record at the end of the season. Anyway, Paige says, go on London, same again Thursday night please, smiley face.
Ian Gatworth says, absolute pure joy to watch, and the beauty of that London win is that it's dragged 3 or 4 clubs into the relegation mix, maybe more than 3 or 4. Not many people would have predicted the boys from Ealing. Many people would have predicted the boys from Ealing would not win a match this season, but not many people would have predicted either they would win this many matches and against who they beat. Nor would they have predicted that it's now all to play for at the bottom. Massive win now for Thursday.
I make it that over the last 12 months, so far this season, London have beaten the three of the 4 sides that have ever won Super League. That's quite impressive for the relegation no-hopers, isn't it?
You should have saved that because that should have been a quiz question.
If you throw it on 18 months back or so, then I guess they would have beat Bradford at some point in that spell.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, 2 years because Bradford were in League One last year, weren't they? So
that's true.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think when we last played each other.
In the last 2 years, they'll have beaten them all, but maybe other people.
Well, they've definitely had us at some point. So in the last 3 years, definitely, probably, yes.
Paul. I'm not sure if it's Chamberlain or Campbell, but I'm going to guess Chamberlain on this one. Said, great game by London, makes Thursday even more interesting. Still need at least 3 more wins, including beating Hull KR, and hopefully teams can do us a favour.
Well, they seem to be tripping up over each other at the moment. And Sarah says, a good performance by London against a Catalan team that really only had Yaha as their scoring option. Krasnicki's still making good meters with decent offloads, but it does feel like they're heading in a downward trajectory. This was an interesting game, wasn't it?
Very, very much so. Well, actually, it was hideous watching for the first half, apart from that one Rhys Williams try. In reality,
which was all about Paula, wasn't it? Really,
because everything else was just passes behind the man or passes that were too slow, so the defence could read it easily on both sides. There was one spell where I think there was 3 knock-ons, where each team had nearly got over the advantage line but not quite, and then it had to come back. But then the second half was all London. Yeah,
no, I mean, I have to say, I watched this back to back with the Leeds game, and I have to say, certainly in the second half, this was a lot more entertaining. I mean, what a revelation Paula Abdul has been this year. I mean, Danny Ward is he's got some horse whispering going on there or something, hasn't he? Because he's turned him into quite a player.
I look at the London side and I think they've got creative-ish players. Abdul's creative-ish, Walker's creative-ish, but they're given the freedom. Batty is when he's a ball player now half the time for them, as well as making plenty of meters. He passes it a lot, but they've got creative-ish players. And what I sort of getting at with that is they're allowed to play really nice, like fearless rugby league, so they become creative when they're kind of more on the ish side naturally. And I just think Danny Ward has got to be credited for all of that.
Yeah, I mean, without question, that they're very entertaining to watch. They're very smart. They seem to be taking their chances in this game. When they arrived in the second half, I thought Dixon had a really good game for me. I thought he, it goes without saying that the lad's quick. I mean, we all know that. I mean, it was devastating that breakaway try. But
how much work he looks for now is really what impresses me the most, and the fact that he doesn't drop any balls anymore.
He does, and I remember he took that ball where he got absolutely smacked, didn't he? But he didn't drop it.
Yeah.
And whilst he's not quite at Ryan Shaw level of kicking, he's added something else to his play, hasn't he? So that he's again
he hasn't got
contributing to the team.
You look at his kicking style and you think that's not a kicking technique that can be repeated over and over again successfully, like Ryan Shaw's.
No,
but he's doing all right. He's kicking him over sometimes. That's
the thing. That's what I mean. He might not have the natural skill, but it's that thing about making the best of what you have. So the guy's always been lightning quick ever since we first saw him, but it's about spreading that kind of making the most of what you have. And I think that's what the London squad is generally doing with its talent. I think Rhys Williams is a great unsung player as well. Fantastic stats this week.
I'd throw Elliot Keir, who got a well-deserved try into the same mix. Both of those two players, again, they're good-ish, but what they lack in genuine quality, they make up for in massive effort.
Yeah.
So they're getting the best out of themselves constantly because they're actually working so hard that they cover up the bits where they don't have the skill with the effort. Luke Gates is another one I'd put into that category as well.
Yeah, without question, I'd put Jay Pitts in that category. Well, in fact, I'd probably put half of the team in, if not all of them, into that category.
Throw him into the mix.
You go down the 17 and go, he puts it in, and that's cultural, isn't it? We talked about negative culture earlier on. This is a massively positive culture, and whether the things go right for them on Thursday or whether they stay up or don't, it's been a massive shot in the arm, I think, for London Rugby League and just generally for Super League. I think it's been a massive positive. So yeah, it's tricky. It's a tricky one to call on Thursday, but we'll get on to that one.
Highlight moment for you then?
I quite like. I think I've got to go for the speed from Dixon. I would say. I think that's probably. Oh, having said that though, was it Abdul's first? No, I'm going to change my mind. Abdul's offload for Williams' first try. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, and I think Paula Abdul was the star performer.
It certainly was.
Right, one game on Sunday. Salford 44, Wakefield 20, bringing Wakefield well back into the relegation conversation.
Yep.
20-6 at half time, so Salford were consistently the better team in this game. 2,950 was the crowd. Marcus Griffiths was the referee. Stats have Salford as dominant winners, unsurprisingly, over 400 more metres and a 4% better team tackle success rate. Emphasise things. Wakefield went under 900 metres and below 90% team tackle success rate. Individually, Niall Levels, 3 tries, 1 try assist, 123 metres, 3 clean breaks. convicted spousal abuser Robert Louis, 1 try, 3 try assists, 5 tackle busts. Josh Jones, 6 tackle busts, 158 metres. And Jackson Hastings, 2 try assists, 7 tackle busts, 153 metres. Those 4 were the stars of the show, from all the match reports and Man of Steel points and all that gubbins.
Yep.
Losers, Wakefield